place to store it. Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So today I am hoping to round bale one of our small hay fields. It didn't have a ton of grass in it. It didn't have very good production, so I'm not probably gonna get very many bales from it. But today is Saturday morning. I cut it Thursday night after I got off work. So it's been about 36 hours right now. And the morning after I cut it, it got rained on. But the day ended up being so hot, it was actually dry last night. The hay was dry enough I could have probably raked it up and baled it last night, but the sun was going down. And this morning, about 4 or 5 in the morning, it ended up raining again. We had another pop-up shower come through and it got rained on. So now it got rained on after it was dry. That's really going to affect the quality of the hay. So it's probably not going to be the greatest hay in the world anyway. So I figure I'd go ahead and get the baler all ready. And then as soon as it seems like the rain has evaporated, we're going to go out there, we're going to start raking it up and then hopefully get this baled today. These balers have grease fittings everywhere, and a lot of them are marked by these stickers, but they're still hard to find, like somewhere nearby. This one's hidden back in here. Oh, you gotta get just the right angle. All right, I think the baler's all greased up and ready to go. I've got the electronics hooked up to the cab of the tractor, and I think it's warm enough now that we might be able to go rake the hayfield. All right, we're gonna be using the Case 731 to do some raking. There's some spots that have a little bit of moisture left underneath it. I think if we get it raked up, it'll be just fine. Mostly dry. I got more of it turning brown. I'm losing a little bit more color, and I think a lot of that has to do with it getting rained on. But I think it's dry enough to rake up, get it up in some windrows. The hot day today should evaporate the rest of the moisture. And the weather forecast has luckily changed, so it only has like a, I don't know, less than 20% chance of rain. So it's basically, I think we're good for the rest of the day. So let's get it raked up. All right, I got the hayfield all raked up. It is definitely starting to get hot outside. There was still a little bit of green in there, especially on the south side where it's shady. Like that was completely not dried. So that windrow on the south side may have to wait till Sunday. But what I think I'm gonna do is there's still just a little bit of moisture underneath. So I'm gonna let that sit for a few hours, and it's probably around noon right now. So probably gonna come back about 4 in the afternoon. We'll round bale that up. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with the Heston PT10. I worked on this all day the other day. I ended up replacing all of the knife sections on the sickle bar. I got those all replaced, and then it wouldn't fit in there because I put bolts to hold the knives in. I took out the rivets, I put in bolts, and these hold downs that are on there have a very small arch. Hopefully you can see that. And that is just big enough for a rivet to fit under, not the bolt. So I was trying to figure out whether I needed to buy 16 of these which is going to probably cost me about $150, somewhere in there. And then I'll have to take apart the whole front and basically take the guards off and bolt them back together with new hold downs. Or the other choice was to put rivets, take the bolts out of here and put rivets in all of these sickles all the way down. I do have rivets, I counted them, and I have enough to go ahead and do that. It's just a lot of work having to redo that. But either way is a lot of work. I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go in a workshop where it's a little cooler, and I'm going to go ahead and just replace this and put rivets back in it, and at least the cutter bar will work again, and I won't have to buy $150 worth of hold downs. So I'm going to do that while we're letting the hay dry a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and put rivets in place of the bolts. Put our sickle on. And you smash this down with a hammer. So this one I put the rivets through the other way so that the smashed end will be on the bottom. I think I'd like that better. And there we go. And it's got this smooth, part of the rivet on top. I don't know. I just like that better. All right, I got all of the bolts replaced with rivets. Let's see if I can get this in there. Oh yeah. It fits. That's good. Well, it's about 3:20 in the afternoon, and I'm gonna go ahead and head out to the hay field, start baling up the hay. Just looked at the weather forecast, it's changed again. Well, actually it doesn't even show a change, but on the radar there's a storm on the west side of Illinois heading this way. It's gonna be here in about an hour, hour and a half. So hopefully I can get it baled up before it rains. So the only thing I got left now is this one windrow that goes along the south side of the field. And normally, it's not too shaded right now, but normally it's shaded during the day. And right back there is the worst spot. It's the most shadiest, but it's also the lowest. It holds water. So from the rain we got this morning and the other day, I think it kept everything kind of damp over there, and this grass was not dry this morning. So I'm just gonna go through and check it real quick and see if I can bale it today or if I'm gonna have to wait. So I've gone through this windrow, and it's like starting right here, you start to find green. I don't know if this will show up in the camera real well, but on the bottom of this, you'll flip it over and you'll find some grass that has not dried at all. And as it gets down here, it gets worse. Got more green, more green. So this is where it's normally the shadiest. We're at the point of the part of the day where the sun is sort of at an angle this direction, and it's making this not as shady as it normally is. So I think that means I'm done round baling for today. So I'll probably go ahead, haul these bales off, come back with the rake, and we'll rake this windrow out farther into the sun, and then hopefully it'll be dry enough that I can bale it tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave the tractor hooked up to the baler, parked in the carport. Hopefully, if it does rain, hopefully the baler doesn't get wet, because it does have a partial bale on the inside. And tomorrow I'll just go back out to that hayfield and I'll bale up the rest of that and add it to that bale. But that hayfield there, that was the first one we planted, and it's about a third. It produces about a third of what it was when we first planted it. Its production has dropped off a lot. It definitely needs some fertilizer. I think it needs a little bit of lime to get the pH back up, and it may need a few other amendments, but it needs some TLC to get that production back up in that hayfield. The other hayfield is done really well as far as production is concerned, and that's where we're getting most of our hay, is from the other hayfield. But I'm glad I didn't end up cutting it. It was ended up being kind of a crappy weekend for cutting hay. So, but whatever storm we have coming through right now, it's starting to move in, and it has dropped. The temperature has dropped probably 15, maybe close to 20 degrees. And all the animals have finally come out to graze. They've been hiding in the shade. It's been so hot. But it looks like the next few days it's going to be a little bit cooler. I mean, I know I'm going to appreciate it, and I know the animals are going to appreciate it. But I think that is going to be it for this video. Still need to get the hay mower fixed. And hopefully we'll get that fixed in the next week or so. And then maybe we can get the other hayfield cut. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I think that's it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.